So this video will cover the 30,000 foot view of what 4Forces does and how you navigate through the system. When you first log in, it brings you to your profile page. Your profile page has all the information about you as the person who's logged in. You also can set your unavailability if you wanted to block off certain days where you're not working or taking a vacation. Down here you can see previous flights, and you can also see any currencies or uploaded documents that you have on your own personal file. So when we start going through the website, the first thing we'll want to notice is to make sure that the white labeled company logo is up here in the upper left-hand corner. And on the upper right-hand corner, you see the circle with your initial in it. That's how you'd log out. On this left-hand side, we see our navigation bar. So when we click those lines, our navigation bar pops out. On this side, you can see schedule, resources, maintenance, cashier, users and courses, profile, and settings. I'm logged in as a chief, so I have access to all of these pages. Students, admins, and CFIs may have slightly different views depending on what permissions your school has given you. So let's start with loading our scheduler. The scheduler takes a second to load because there's a lot of data that goes into this. So you can see here, we've got our legend at the top. We've got our dates if we wanted to select a specific date. You can also filter by specific airports. You can filter by aircraft, simulators, or rooms right here. If we click Show CFIs at the bottom of our resource page, or excuse me, our schedule page, you'll see the flight instructors loaded as well. So if you wanted to schedule a flight either based on a specific airplane's availability, or if you want to schedule time based on your instructor's availability, you can do that if you'd like. You can also filter by CFI name, student name, or the resource as well. Next up, we've got resources. The resources page is where you can go to manage your entire fleet. Again, not everybody will have access to this page, so this is something a little bit more administrative. But you can see the specific tail numbers for the fleet that you've got, the type of aircraft, whether or not it's been grounded or if it's available. You can see the default rate for each aircraft and set that here. Fuel surcharges, and then squawks. You can see you have one open squawk at the moment. You can also add squawks for any specific aircraft you want. To add a new aircraft, you hit this button and walk through the steps to enter that aircraft. The next page is maintenance. Again, this is evaluating your entire fleet, so it takes a couple of seconds to load. But the nice thing about the maintenance tab is it gives you a really good snapshot of any expired maintenance items, upcoming maintenance items, and open squawks. If you wanted to view these, you can hit the drop-down arrow for open squawks and see the tail number, what the description is of the squawk, the date it was created, and whether or not it's grounded. If you wanted to look at upcoming or expired maintenance items, you'd hit the drop-down menu, and it's going to split these up based on time-based maintenance, such as 30-day VOR checks, annual inspections, etc., or flight hours-based maintenance, if there are 100-hour inspections or oil changes or things like that you'd want to do. So it breaks it apart and lets you know what you could expect for maintenance upcoming, and any open squawks or expired maintenance items need to be addressed immediately. The next page is the cashier. So this one is one that very few people have access to. But what's nice is when you have an event created on the schedule, it automatically creates an invoice for that event. It pulls over the information you've logged as at the end of the flight and generates that invoice here. So once you get done logging the flight outcomes, this invoice will already be in your cashier page. You can click here on the invoice. It'll take you to a separate screen where you can enter your payment details and settle that invoice. What's also nice is you can see currently paid and unpaid invoices, so you know who to follow up with about paying for those last flights. The next page is users and courses. We have a couple of videos about how to manage users and how to enter users, but this page, you can see all the people in your school. So the name, the user type, the assigned CFI. If they're in a class, you can assign them to a class. You can also enroll people in courses right here. To add users, you just hit the button up here. And if you wanted to search for a specific user or user type, you can search through these filters up here. We already went over the profile page, but this is how you would get to your profile. And last but not least, we have our company settings. The company settings is where the majority of your settings is set by the administrators at the school. We've got permissions, currencies, grading scale you use for your courses, any airports you have that you wanted to add to your list of airports, company settings, any integrations like HubSpot or Zoho. Then we have some 141 compliance tabs over here as well.